Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. I'm Deborah Anderson, and we're here in Moreland at Ant-Based Community Kitchen. And today I'm going to be making something that my work team really loves. I don't know if they like my versions, but we are all crazy about tacos. So I'm going to make some steak tacos, kind of in a street style. Probably not as good as your restaurant, but pretty good. And then I'm also going to make homemade refried beans in the Instant Pot. And I like this recipe because you don't have to soak the beans, so that's why I chose it. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started because some of this takes a while. You know, Instant Pot is faster, but there's still time to get things ready and heat it up. And this one I'm going to let release naturally, so that does take some time. What I have here is a little bit of bacon grease, and I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of that in my Instant Pot and let that start to heat. And I am going to be able to go fast because I have prepped all the vegetables for you. Since this is a pretty big recipe, we're going to be making homemade tortillas, we're going to be making our steak tacos, and the refried beans. So we've got a lot to do. We don't have time to prep on camera. But what I'm going to saute in my bacon grease is about 1 small onion that I've cut pretty small and a diced jalapeno. I did take the seeds out. And I diced it pretty small. It's probably not going to matter because we're going to puree it a little bit later, and they get pretty soft in the Instant Pot, but I still want to get some of this bacon flavor in them. Now, if you would prefer to have vegetarian beans, really the only difference would be to use a vegetable oil instead of bacon grease. So I've got that set on saute, and while those go until they're about tender, I'd say 2 minutes, I'm actually going to start marinating my steak. It needs to marinate for about 1 to 4 hours. So I'm going to show you these cute little these liquid measuring cups I got in McPherson. I grew up in McPherson County, and my sister and I went to the May Day parade because it was a huge deal when we were little. And I guess we were kind of expecting that we'd be kind of sad that how it had gone downhill, but it was huger than ever. And my favorite kitchen store from McPherson was still open. And so I went in and I found these adorable little measuring things. So this one's a 2 tablespoon measuring beaker. Oops. So this is soy sauce. I have got some London broil here. I think any kind of meat that you can find would be fine because it's cut so tiny and it's going to be marinated. So I cut London broil into tiny, tiny pieces, about that big. And I like them cut. Some people will keep the steak whole and marinate the steak, cook it on the grill and then slice it. But I kind of like every piece to be seared and have that caramelization on each little crumb. And Doyle and I both like it cut really, really small. So that's what we did. I need 2 tablespoons of canola, but I'm only going to put half of it in now. And I'll put the other half in when I sear it in the skillet. And then 3 cloves of garlic, and I also need garlic in my pinto beans, so they each take 3 cloves. And this is pretty hard garlic. Ah, nice. I like it when it does that. Yeah, that was my older one. I had 2 heads in my little garlic jar. Awesome. I cleaned out my kitchen drawers the other day and I had 3 garlic presses. So if you want a really nice garlic press, check out the Goodwill in Hayes. I am down to 1 garlic press, but I did love them all. But this one won out in the end. I'm going to give these a quick stir. Yum, bacon. I bought a whole pound of bacon just to get bacon grease to make refried beans, but now we have bacon for soup. Okay, now I need chili powder, 2 teaspoons. I think I'm just gonna use 1 teaspoon because I don't like it to be too dominant of a flavor. Because like when I go to the restaurant, I don't taste chili powder, but it does give it a little bit. So 1 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, a teaspoon of oregano. There you are. A lot of these same spices are in the beans. It's kind of crazy. I should probably leave the lids off. And that's all. I will set this in the fridge to marinate. I'll stir it up really good and marinate it. Now let me go over and put our garlic in the beans. Yeah, those are new ones. Also 3 of those, and I'm only gonna let those cook another 30 seconds while I measure the other stuff. I'm gonna have to deglaze the pan. However, when I look at it, it does not need a whole lot of deglazing, but I'll still do it. We'll put in about 4 cups of chicken stock. So to deglaze it, I'll just put in a little bit of chicken stock early, deglaze, and then add the rest of it. If this is your first time to watch Local Flavor, you'll know that I don't actually like to carry heavy chicken stock around, so I just use water and some chicken stock powder. So 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm also gonna add 2 cups of water. Oh, nice and messy. There's my deglazing. And this new chicken stock I got is so much stronger than the last one I had. So when I first made these with this chicken stock, they were very salty. So I'm gonna use about half as much as my last brand. You'll get to know your own chicken stock powder, or you can buy the cans and figure out how much to use. Or you, if you want it to be vegetarian, you can use a vegetable stock too. So there's those. The rest of my water. Now, the reason you do want to deglaze the pan is because it will give you a burn notice if it's too much in there. I'm gonna rinse these beans so that while I'm rinsing them really well, I can look and see if there's any really nasty ones in there that I need to throw out. And we're putting in a pound of beans. And now my seasonings, a couple of bay leaves. We'll pick those out at the end. Oregano, about the same amount. A teaspoon of oregano, teaspoon of cumin, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. I can put in some kosher salt, it's in the menu, but I'm actually gonna add that at the end if I need it, because I got so much with this new, this is super strong, so I wanna check it before I add much more salt. So that's some cayenne pepper, and that's all it needs for now. When we come back, I'm gonna put this to cook on manual, which is high, for 45 minutes, and then the pressure will release naturally. So when we come back, we'll be opening it and starting to mash it.
Plains Podiatry, the team's greatest joy is seeing you doing what you love to do. Dr. Rob Hens addresses all problems of the foot and ankle with leading-edge capabilities. They travel extensively, serving in satellite clinics near you. Their growth in southwest Nebraska is a direct result of the caring and personal treatment they give their patients. Let High Plains Podiatry bring the pep back in your step. Now seeing patients in Norton and Colby, Kansas. Call today, 877-345-3668.
Don't let the weather outside interfere with the comfort of your home. Contact AquaShield Roofing and Construction today for all your home repairs, no matter what the season. AquaShield Roofing and Construction specializes in roofing, siding, guttering, insulation, windows, doors, remodeling, and construction. We offer free estimates, and our customer satisfaction is our priority. Don't put off repairs due to the season. Call AquaShield Roofing and Construction today.
Welcome back to our street taco episode, or steak tacos. I'm gonna make homemade tortillas with these. I have my meat marinating and the beans cooking, and I did add a little bit of accent to the meat. I feel like it's cheating, but I really think it adds a level of deliciousness. And so for the tortillas, that's where we're at now. I have 3 cups of flour. This is a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. And that's all for that, for dry ingredients. So I'll let those mix just a little bit together. And then I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of oil into the middle. And 1 cup of very, very hot water. So I did get hot water, and I even warmed it up in the microwave. But you want it to be super, super hot. Yep, it's still 1 cup. I was worried. I heated it a few times when we weren't ready. So I'm gonna let this go for a couple minutes, and I'll scrape the bowl a couple times. I'll put it on a lower speed while it's combining, then scrape the bowl at least once, maybe twice, and then I'm gonna let it go for another couple minutes in order to get it nice and smooth. So there we have it. Our dough went a couple of minutes to get smooth, and now I'm going to roll it out onto a floured surface. And I'll make it a little bit of a dough shape. Well, a dough ball shape. I'll kind of turn it like this and set that on the flour. And then I'm gonna make it into 16 little tortillas. I'm just gonna make one on camera. I'll cut it, and to get 16, I kind of cheat. I don't measure it. I just cut it in 4 pieces. Then I cut those 4 pieces and kind of round them up again and do 4s again. So that's about the size of each tortilla. And then I will make a little ball again. And flatten it a little, just for now with my palm. And then I'm gonna cover this with a kitchen towel and let it rest about 15 to 30 minutes. So when we come back, we'll fry them up. That's super easy, right?
At Rogers & Associates Insurance, we serve the Midwest. We offer home, auto, commercial, and farm insurance policies and provide solid options for life and health insurance. For those unexpected life events like hail, wind, deer crashes, fender benders, and the little things in between, we can help you ensure what matters most in your life. Let us help you design a plan that meets your needs and budget. Visit us online or call us at 1-800-569-0118 to learn more.
Okay, so we've let these rest for a bit, and I'm gonna roll them out. They won't be perfect, that way you know they're homemade, but I'm trying to approximate a bit of a circle. And I have my heavy bottom pan warming right now. I want it fairly hot. And then I just kind of have to judge. I'm a little nervous. I always make these on my electric stove, so I'm a little nervous about this gas stove. You can either roll them all out at once, or I kind of keep busy by doing them while they're cooking. But if you're not very close to it, you might not want to do that. The only thing is, if you make them all in advance, you don't want to stack them on top of each other. So really, I just took what I had on a floured surface and rolled it out, and then I'm gonna put it on this heavy bottom pan. Cast iron would also be great. And I'm gonna leave it there until I see some bubbles coming up. It'll be about a minute on each side. So when I see the bubbles coming up, I'll flip it over and make sure it looks like at the restaurant with the little brown spots. If they're too black, I'll turn it down. And if it's taking too long, I can turn it up. So waiting for the bubbles. And I'm gonna try to get some of this flour off of it, because by the 16th tortilla, there's a little well of burned flour in the corner, so I don't like that. Okay, I'm getting a teeny bit of bubbles. I want a nice big one. It's ruining my pan. I didn't think anything would stain this pan, but tortillas are the culprit. Okay, can you see a little of the bubbles coming through? Bigger bubbles coming. I'm gonna test it. Nope, probably too soon. Turn it up. So while I'm waiting, I'll just get the next one ready, because why not keep busy? You know, the cat's meowing, always wanting something. Oh, this is a tiny one. I want to do one that looks pretty. Okay. Oh, this one's staying pretty round. Sometimes people suggest to pick them up and squeeze around the edge. I don't think it makes that big a difference. Okay, this looks a little bit more like I expected it to. See how it's got a little bit of brown? It's not good enough for me yet, but I got a hotter pan, so we're gonna get better results now. But isn't that easy? For real. Anyway, I'm gonna continue doing this for all 16. I wanna show you one that looks pretty good before I go to break. But I'm gonna use this same pan. I'll add some, I don't have any oil in this or anything right now. It is kind of a non-stick coating, but after they're cooked, you can stack them. I'm gonna use the same pan. I'll add some canola oil, and it'll just be quick to make that beef, and we can start eating right away while these are probably still warm. Yeah, that looks pretty good. See the look on that? That looks about like the ones you get out of your box. Don't you see the little brown spots? Okay, well, I rolled them out there. I'm sure it's good enough to pile them there. When they're all cooked, I'm gonna wrap them back in my towel, and when I made them the other day, it kept them warm for like an hour. So that'll keep them pliable and warm. When we come back, let's sear that steak and eat it up.
What a girl wants in her home kitchen. Ease of use, flexibility, fun, the latest kitchen design, Frigidaire Professional Real Stainless Steel for fewer finger smudges, a French door refrigerator, convection cooking, and quiet dishwasher. Have the staff at Genuine Appliance in Hayes demonstrate new Frigidaire gallery appliances to find what you want. Genuine Appliance at 1224 East 27th Street in Hayes. Everything a girl wants.
The best part of our technology doesn't come from smartphones. It comes from a powerful network, backed by infrastructure that we're always improving. We invest in this network so that you get the most from your technology. It's a network that's going anytime, anywhere, for anything and anyone.
For a limited time, get a free Samsung Galaxy S10e or iPhone XR when you activate any device.
Nex-Tech Wireless, keeping you connected.
Okay, our tortillas are all done and wrapped like a little baby. And I'm just gonna sear the meat. It shouldn't take long. Hopefully my oil got nice and hot. It sounds like it. And this is the marinated beef. I really don't need to cook it very long. Because it's teeny tiny pieces. There's a point when you're cooking like this, like it's kind of dry, and then all of a sudden all the moisture comes out. And I always try and beat it, but it's hard. So it's more ideal to not have that moisture, but some of it might come out of the meat. Uh-oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Here's where it's coming out. I can feel it coming. You little naughties. Yeah, I'm on high. It's just like it peters out. It feels like the... In the meanwhile, while I get that rest of those so they're not rare. Come on. I'm going to get the rest of my pan ready. So street tacos don't have a lot on them. It's not like you don't put cheese and, well, actually I do put cheese on. You don't put cheese and lettuce and all that on it. But street tacos pretty much are just cilantro, onion, beef. I like to add cheese, and I did get some pepper jack cheese and cojita. Yummo. So I'm gonna put some, the beans are supposed to be on the side. I actually like to put a little bit on my burrito too, or my street tacos, pardon me. Now it's a burrito, because it has beans in it. Those look like canned beans, but they're very good. And then, this is like the Mexican powdery cheese. It doesn't really melt too much. So I'm gonna try that. Then I have some pepper jack cheese too. And that's as simple as it is. Lots of things to do, but none of them were hard. So my street taco's almost dressed up and ready for the dance. Some fresh onions I chopped ahead of time, and some chopped cilantro. Cilantro, so good. And a wacky shaped tortilla. This will be a big mess. Oh, it looks very burrito. Very good. Everything's so easy. And you gotta try the beans, honestly. They really make it really special. Nice, lots and lots of flavor. Oh, see, there's all that liquid I told you about. But I really love the freshness of the cilantro and the onion on there too. It's so good. Be sure and try it at home. And join us next time on Local Flavor.